Welcome, Alonso here from synthwavedojo.com. My goal is to help you make the music that's in your heart. With this intention, I've created a roadmap of sorts that'll help you get from white belt to black belt synthwave producer. This framework is called the Synthwave Warrior's Journey. Before we get to the framework, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Years ago, I trained Kyokushin karate in my hometown. It was certainly one of the best experiences in my life. In the dojo, I found leadership, guidance, and inspiration in my sensei. In my peers, I found support, trust, and encouragement. In the dojo, everyone's working very hard inside a clearly defined structure and path to develop your skills and to become a better person, and yes, to earn the black belt. In the dojo, you move up the ranks according to your dedication, your self-improvement, of course, the development of your skills, and by being tested every single class, not only during the belt gradings or examinations. When I started Synthwave Dojo, I wanted to somehow reapply everything that I learned in the actual dojo and put it to good use in the education, learning, and training of others in how to make synthwave. My vision is not fully realized, but I'm getting there. Eventually, I'll get there. All of this to explain why Synthwave Dojo and the Synthwave Warrior's Journey are imbued with karate and martial arts terminology, and especially and most importantly, the philosophy. Now on to the framework. The journey is about starting as a beginner and then progressing on to becoming a master. I've divided the journey into 4 distinct stages. Stage 1 is Kihon, which is the Japanese martial arts word for the basics or basic techniques. In this stage, what you focus on is on learning the letters of the alphabet of synthwave. So this is learning how to make an effective bass line, how to put together a drum pattern, how to create a chord progression, some kind of chord rhythm, arpeggios, pads, and melodies. So really digging deep into how those elements are created. And very importantly, by the end of the stage, you need to have a demonstrable skill, which is creating a main stack. And the main stack is what I call the 8-bar loop that you can use to start any kind of synthwave track, consisting of drums, bass, pads, chords, arpeggio, and a melody. That's why it's called a stack, because you think of all these parts stacked together, that's going to help you start a track. In this stage, you can spend 6 to 9 months just learning the basics. Of course, this depends on your natural abilities for music and production, whether you play an instrument or not, and whether you have any previous production experience. All of that is either gonna help you conquer this stage quicker, or if it's gonna take you even more or beyond 9 months. The goal is not to just create one main stack, but that you can consistently create main stack after main stack that sounds good within the context of synthwave. Not that it sounds like some mix between techno, house, and synthwave, which happens all the time, but something that you can say, yes, this certainly falls under the umbrella or under the general style of synthwave. This works. Stage 2 is basic kata. Kata, or forms, are ritualized self-training in which patterned or memorized movements are done in order to practice a form of combat maneuverings. So think of it as patterns and sequences of attack and defense moves to simulate an actual battle or combat with an opponent. Think of it as being on rails, like in an amusement park, where the path that you go through has limitations and you can't apply every technique out there. At least in the context of synthwave, it's more guided. Kata teaches the practitioner useful skills such as fluidity of motion, balance, and strength. Here is where we go from learning the letters of the alphabet to actually starting to create words and sentences. But it's important that it's simple and short words and sentences. So in this stage, the work is about creating 40-bar arrangements. A 40-bar arrangement is very short. Think of it as 8 bars of intro, 8 bars of outro, 8 bars of, let's call it groove, 8 bars of a main section with the main lead, 8 bars of an alternate section, like an alternate lead or melody, and then onto the outro. So it's very short, but the idea is that you learn how to create a journey inside such a small or such a short arrangement, where you use automation, where you use contrast in your sections, when you learn to effectively place different voices or different instruments along your arrangement. In this stage, you could spend anywhere between 3 to 6 months, depending on how much effort you put into this daily, weekly, and monthly. Obviously, if you have more time every day or every week, you'll make faster progress than if you only have a couple of hours per week. That's obvious, and that applies to anything that you want to get better at in life. Stage 3, Advanced Kata. Once you have the ability to create 40-bar arrangements, you are ready to tackle the Advanced Kata, which is a 40-bar arrangement. And a 40-bar arrangement is not just duplicating a 40-bar arrangement and calling it done. With additional time, or the more time that you add to your production, the exponentially more complex that it gets. Because in an 80-bar arrangement, now you have to think of 2 main sections with an alternate section, a break, some kind of a climax. So there's more sections to tackle, more of the energy to manage, and a longer journey that you have to create for the listener. Here, we're still concerned with words and sentences, but as opposed to the basic kata, where we only tackled simple phrases, simple words, and simple sentences, here we're getting into more complex sentences and more complex words, more complex grammar. In this stage, you could plan to spend between 3 to 6 months, again, as I've been saying, depending on your natural abilities and your work ethics. Finally, we get to stage 4. Stage 4 is kumite, or sparring. Kumite is used to train the application of the various techniques within a fighting situation. There's no patterns or guided movements. Kumite unfolds completely freely, and there's an ebb and flow of attack and defensive moves. It's a conversation that you have with an opponent, completely unscripted and free. The interesting thing is that, at least for me, once you're able to create a full-length track, which is the demonstrable skill in stage 4 kumite, you will spend here the rest of your life. This is not the final stage, but actually is the real beginning of your journey. Here's where things get really interesting, because beyond this point, there are no scripts. Beyond this point is where you need to really develop your own unique sound, your own unique voice. This is where you leave your heroes and the legends behind and really focus on doing your own thing, on bringing something unique to the Synthwave table, if you will. Very soon, I'll be creating a syllabus and training guide to assist you in conquering each of the phases in the Synthwave warrior's journey. From this point onward, I'll also start referencing these milestones or phases in upcoming videos and the content that I create. Keep in mind that all great things require time and a lot of effort. I hope you found this useful, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. See you in the next one, and keep synthwaving.